Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? Well, Netflix just premiered a brand new movie today, Pee Wee's Big Holiday. I keep wanting to say Big Top Pee Wee's. Pee Wee's Big Holiday. And this is the first time Pee Wee Herman, Paul Reubens's been in movies since the whole scandal, but this is the first time Pee Wee Herman has made a starring movie since 1988, Big Top Pee Wee. And it is, like I said, Pee Wee's Big Holiday. It premiered today on Netflix. I'm going to let you know what I think about it. Well, it starts out with him staying in Fairfield, and he lives a very hum-hum life, and he just stays within the town. He knows everything in the town, the library, every nook and cranny of the town. He works as a cook there, and he has a band called the Renegades. And he meets this guy when he's working in a restaurant. This guy comes in, Joe Manganiello, and he said that's his real name, the actor. And Joe Manganiello is very lucky because he's with Sofia Vergara right now. Lucky bastard, he married her, I think. I wish I was with her, but I mean, real life sets in. And he says, "You gotta live, Pee Wee. You gotta get on that. You gotta just get on this motorcycle and get out of town and have yourself a holiday. Come to New York to my birthday party. It's going to be in like 5 days." And he decides, maybe I should go. And he goes on this journey, and he drives his car, and he runs afoul of bank robbers, and then they kidnap him. And by the way, they're female bank robbers. These female bank robbers are really hot. And they kidnap him, and then after that, he steals his car. And then after that, it's like he keeps running into these characters on his way to hopefully go to New York. I don't want to spoil much else, but the biggest problem for me is it's not funny. I mean, it's little bits and pieces, because I was actually surprised that Paul Reubens, who's no dummy, well, he was for what got him in trouble, a long time ago. But aside from that, it's just his character. This is his main character that's get him famous and infamous at the same time. I'm surprised he doesn't crack down the writing and make it really funny. I mean, he just plays, just tried to play real innocent instead of being silly. When he first started out, I can tell you about my history with Pee Wee Herman. He was super silly, and then he brought it to Saturday morning TV within the kids show format, and then also the Tim Burton movie, Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and also to Big Top Pee Wee. I mean, I've seen when he in Pee Wee's Big Adventure, when he makes his breakfast cereal and makes it in the face and makes it talk to him, or says, "Mr. T cereal, I pay the food, don't eat my cereal." That shit was really funny. And he doesn't do this in this one. I mean, he does it a little bit. Like, there's a part when he's eating a garnish, he had a piece of garnish. That's the real Pee Wee Herman. The funny stuff, they toned it down so much. And a lot of the characters we meet are so bland and boring. I mean, those female bank robbers were hot. At least they had that going for them. But I mean, and then like some jokes, he ran into the Amish, and he said, "We're Amish." He goes, "Gesundheit. We're Amish, Gesundheit, we're Amish, Gesundheit," like 4 or 5 times. I mean, he doesn't do like his classic jokes and stuff like that. He says Amishy or helicoptery or something like that. He doesn't really. It's really a disappointment. I mean, I like the beginning montage with a Rube Goldberg mechanic, but I mean, some of the effects were real cheesy and didn't look very realistic. But I mean, it not really supposed to, but seeing with him in a little car, some of that stuff was neat. I mean, there's little visual things that are neat, some sight gags that are neat, but I mean, it doesn't really pay off that much. I mean, the beginning montage is pretty good, and there's continuity errors, like the giant one, and they did this lame joke twice. One of the girls steal his car. There's this one guy who has like does like practical jokes, like Johnson Smith's company, and he had like this glass on his top of his car. He said, "I'll give you a lift to New York." He said, "Why don't you take your glass of coffee out there, or a cup of coffee out there?" And he said, "I fooled you. It's just a magnet." And then he said, "Well, check this out." He had a big bag of groceries. It must be on the magnet on here. and he's driving down the road, and the lady goes and he says, "There's a bag of groceries in there," and then he rolls up the back window and says, "Phony grocery bag," and it says how much money, call me, or something like that. And then they cut to him and they show it roll up again, and then they do the joke twice, and they show it roll up all the way up, and then they cut to the guy and they show that you see the back window roll up again. They did the same mistake twice, and just, they have like this thing that's supposed to be the big dramatic thing, and it's just like, I mean, there's neat side gags in it, but I mean, it's a real shame. It's definitely, never see it ever again. I don't know how it got 82 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm really disappointed by this. I mean, it was supposed to be a big deal. I don't know how anyone else will feel about it. I might get hate. I don't know. I got hate for not liking the new Muppets. Might get hate for not liking the new Pee Wee Herman, saying, "Well, you're not a real fan." But yeah, they were saying, "You're not a real fan of the Muppets. You don't like the new Muppets. The new Muppets suck." And this new Pee Wee Herman, it doesn't suck, but it's very average. I have to give it a 5.5 out of 10. I wish I could give it a higher score, but I can't. It's a real put down, and I should have known. It was weird when it first started out. They had the Netflix, and then they had the Pee Wee pictures, like as that little claymation thing at the end of his kids show that came on, Netflix Pee Wee pictures, and then they showed the credits, and the credits were real teeny tiny, right in the middle, very understated, with a very understated score. I wondered, well, why wouldn't they make them bigger? Why wouldn't they try to make this larger than life? And they didn't, and that's kind of the way I felt throughout the whole movie. I mean, there's little bits. It seems like they're trying to recapture the Pee-wee's Big Adventure, some of the imagery a little bit. They did a little bit, and there's like neat miniatures and stuff like that in it. But I mean, I'm really shocked that Paul Reubens wasn't asked to make it funny. I mean, because my history with Pee Wee Herman was, he started out, can't remember the very first time I saw him. I think I saw him on Merv Griffin back in 78, 79, maybe. And he was like, he had all these toys and stuff like that. And he had like this one, I can't remember what it was. It was some guy, it was like this bald guy, and he was like, you put the disguise on him, he'd like go like this in the crowd with like the puppet, and it was really funny. I mean, he made really funny stuff with the toys and stuff like that. And he was in Cheech and Chong movies just as Paul Reubens, not as Pee Wee Herman. Or maybe he might have been as Pee Wee Herman, but they just credited him as Paul Reubens. And he had an HBO special, and then he did Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I don't know if Pee Wee's Big Adventure came and then Children's Show came, or it was the other way around. And that launched his career for a long time, until 1988. And then with Big Top Pee Wee, it was weird because I had a chance to see it a couple times in Germany in the Army, and I never did, but I bought the soundtrack, and maybe I was so disappointed with the soundtrack, I didn't think the movie would be any good. And I didn't see the movie till about 92, 93 on Cinemax, and I loved it. Especially the part when he's feeding the birds. That's really funny. And like I said, he was doing pretty good for himself until 91, where he screwed up big time. And probably most people know the scandal. He was in an adult theater pleasuring himself. And there was a bunch of, like 6 or 7 cops in there, believe it or not. And they busted him, and they said that we're going to take you to trial. And he said, please don't. This is going to ruin my career. I'll do like a benefit special concert for your town, free concert. You raise money for a whole bunch of stuff. And they said no, and they busted him, and that killed his career. People doing masturbation jokes about Pee Wee Herman. Then it came to a head when I was in, like I said, 14th Mayor, reading the paper, and at the, CBS ended up canceling the children's show. It really hurt him, because he was making some money on that. And they had a thing at the bag. It said some psychiatrist saying, how do you explain to your children what happened to Pee Wee Herman? It's like, holy shit. I never thought of it like that through a child's eyes. What's going on, And pretty much, you only saw Pee Wee Herman a couple of times. He was on some joke award show, and he says, "Hear any good jokes about me lately?" And people gave him praise for like taking it like a jokes, taking criticism like a champ, I guess. He was in other movies, just like as in Paul Reubens, like in Batman Returns. He had a small role in that. And he was still doing movies and stuff, just not really as Pee Wee Herman. And this is his first big return. I'm surprised he didn't make them change the script. I mean, fix some continuity errors and just, it's still a million times better than Joe Dirt 2 on Crackle. Joe Dirt 2 absolutely sucked. This is average. But, Joe Dirt 2 really sucked bad. I don't know. I can't say that. I think it's okay. It's definitely worth watching once on Netflix. If you have Netflix, I would never bother to watch it again. So, I'm pretty disappointed. I'm pretty disappointed in the new movie, Pee Wee's Big Holiday. So, until next time, please take care of my Legion. Very disappointed in it.